all set?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, I am gonna be presenting later on.
Okay. (5:38), call the meeting to order. First, I want to introduce Wayne Rochelle, new board member. Wayne comes to us as an owner of Weber Knapp, representing manufacturing, representing Mass Group. So welcome. And first on the agenda, we have the consideration for the approval of the JLDC board meeting minutes of the April 17th meeting.
So moved.
I have a couple corrections. Stephanie, I will give them to you, just some misspellings, all in names.
I fixed mine today.
Okay, so if you could make those corrections, we have a
Got it.
motion from, oops, so moved.
Got it.
Second,
Second.
Tony, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Second item on the agenda is the consideration for approving a loan request from the Fire Guys Bounce Houses and Party Rentals LLC. Stephanie?
Okay, that is
That'll be
fine,
it.
and that's our gentleman behind us. Yeah, I have 2 of the 3 Fire Guys rentals, and as you can guess from the hats and the names, they are firemen from downstairs. In fact, these 2 are, this is Nick Madden and Willis.
Yep.
Michael
Yes.
Willis, who goes by Nick. And they are actually on some personal leave time to be here because they're working tonight. So who they are, 5 Guys, Bounce House, and Party Rentals. They started out in 2022 with this idea of just having bounce houses. It was Mick's idea, always wanted to do that. And how many bounce houses did you start with?
3.
So 3 bounce houses, started in April, started to book parties, and they made about, $16,000. Reinvested that all back in to buy more bounce houses. And in 2023, they started with 16 bounce houses. I have some pictures in there of them. Surprisingly, one of the most popular bounce houses is the obstacle course. And they have 3 different obstacle courses. Schools take those. Team building, businesses will take that for the team building. So that's how they got started. And then one of them, Nick, got the bright idea of doing Christmas lights for rentals. And they have become certified Christmas light hangers. So last year, they started hanging, maintaining, storing after you take them down, and that was a huge boost in their business. And in 2023, they saw revenues of $98,000, and will continue that this year as well. I have a correction to point out after speaking with them when we read this report together. I have here that conservatively operating expenses are projected to be $44,500. That was actually from the cost of the initial lights. And once those are up, those lights are guaranteed for the next year for the same customers. And you said the customer base is projected to be about 85% of the same people coming back.
Yep.
Isn't that correct?
An
Yeah.
additional double.
Right. And so that $44,500, it's most likely half of that. Even with increases in more customers, it's not going to be that $44,500 each year. And by the way, they have no debt, and they have no great overhead expenses except for business insurance on the truck that they already own and have. So what they're looking for is a place to keep this business. Right now, the business itself operates out of Lakewood on Winch Road, which is Mick's house. Yeah, and they are storing their equipment in kind of renting from a friend. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then that opportunity is going away. So they're looking to move into their own permanent headquarters, their own permanent site for storage. And that is what they have selected was 270 Steel Street. Now 270 Steel Street is right down here underneath the 3rd Street Bridge. As you walk over it, you can see it right there. There are 3 bays, which are 3 separate places for lease. One is being leased by Williams Fabricating. Actually, they own the whole building, but it's going to continue in that small space by one of the employees now. He's hoping to take some of the equipment from Williams Fabricating and keep it there at 270 Steel Street. And if you're not familiar with what they do like kind of on-demand handcrafting, fabricating. And so it's a small business, but it's a good one. It's been here a very long time. They were here when furniture business was here, and they were actually fabricating for furniture. So it's been a long time. How old did you say the gentleman was? Williams?
92. Dr. Sinatra owns the business and the building currently. He's 93 years old.
93 years old. And Williams Fabricating, who owned that?
He owns it.
He owns all that, okay.
6 years for a long
So-
time, yeah.
Yeah, so he's looking to get out at 92. So that's what they're looking for, and there's no real startup costs. They're gonna do some general work for exterior painting, some greenery to increase the curb appeal, and put up some signage to make it the official headquarters of Fire Guys. And so I was looking at their financial analysis. Besides the revenue generated from the business, they will also have lease payments. One would be $1,200 from Williams Fabricating, and then the other site would be about another $1,500. And that too most likely would be used for storage for other businesses, like a painting business who's looking for a place to keep their things. They're centrally located, easy access in and out, and it's a really good spot right across from Jamestown Awning for what they do, where they could partner and pair up to do bounce houses along with the picnic or the chairs and tables and tents, because you were starting with that, but then it was just kind of minuscule, and you realized,
Yeah, we downsize a little
yeah,
bit now.
downsize.
We like to partner up with Jamestown,
Yeah,
push them to them, and they'll give us some,
yeah.
make a good working relationship.
Right. So, I projected this debt service, we're asking for $97,600. It's a little more than what we usually do on our small business development loan. There was a cap on that one of $75,000, but we're starting to see different needs in different places. Not everyone needs a $100,000 job and private investment loan, but the small businesses are seeing, a need for slightly more than 75, less than 100. So this would be a 10-year loan at a 4% interest, which is what we've been doing to stay equal with CCIDA. CCIDA was approached for this loan, and they said it just doesn't fit into their portfolio of what they typically do. So, even though there is a small manufacturer, it's not generating more manufacturing jobs, and that's why CCIDA was not going to be a part of this. But Cody from Chautauqua Opportunities, they are going to be a part of it with a $50,000 loan, slightly more in interest of a 10.5% interest. It's prime plus 6, wasn't that? No,
Oh,
what
plus
did they
two.
say? Plus 2,
Prime
prime plus 2 is what they are charging, a 10-year term. And they will be going to their board on Friday to get the loan approved. And so this loan is being recommended on the applicant's projected ability to service the debt. It meets the purpose of our small business development loans, bringing a business actually into town, keeping that building on the tax rolls, and hopefully getting some more revenue generated in with leases. And then of course the continued operation of this small shop with opportunity for more businesses to locate there. And for the collateral, I'm suggesting a first lien mortgage position on the building at 270 Steel Street, to which Cody has, their coordinator, agreed to take that to the board. So we'll see what they have to say. But it's a first lien mortgage, assignment of rents and leases from 270 Steel Street, the first position on the machine, equipment, and furnitures and fixtures, accounts receivable and all assets of the company, and of course the personal guarantees from the principal owners of Fire Guys, Nicholas Madden, Michael Willis, and Lou Gaines. So, I'll put that out there for you to discuss.
So, a question was raised, and a discussion was had with Elliot, who is not here, he's actually at a conference, about making sure we were covered from a standpoint that they are city employees, and that there's no conflict. This is a loan, it's not a grant. So so he feels it's fine. However, we can vote on this today. I just wanted to make sure that we do not steal the loan or give the loan out without a legal written letter or opinion from him.
And to add into that, they were working with, is it Cattaraugus County Bank?
Community bank.
Community Bank. They were working with Community Bank, but they told them that in order to get the loan, they would have to put down a lot more. But the down payment would be, I think it was 25%. Yeah, 25%. But we do have a partnership with Cody in this one, so we would not be all in.
Right. So I don't know if there's any other questions from any board members?
No, that was the only question I had discussed. Thank
Do
you.
you guys currently have any employees or?
So we started with just the three of us, and we were doing it all, but the growth has been astronomical. And this year, we're actually looking at putting 2 employees on in this month, and potentially 4 as the demand grows.
Good.
And we're hoping with the addition of we started with just the bounce houses. We're hoping with the Christmas lights that we'll be able to keep them on year round. So that's our goal, and I feel pretty confident that we can maintain it.
It's a great idea, I hate ladders.
So you
We're pretty
come-
good on them.
Big
come
boys,
in for my Christmas
big boys
lights.
don't bounce too.
They bounce good in bounce houses though.
People always ask me about dunk tanks, and I know where a dunk tank is.
Yeah.
It's our newest addition.
They're in high demand. People like dunk tanks.
Okay. No other further questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Fine.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
And this is obviously pending the legal.
The
opinion.
final,
Pending.
yeah, the legal opinion and the final paperwork, but, okay.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
You may have to go on back to work.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Can I have that,
Thank you.
the one where you throw the axe? I
The
want-
axe throwing, that's also new
Yeah.
this year. He just got that.
Can you put that in my yard for me?
Anytime.
Practice.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the progress report from John Healy of Southern Tier Builders Exchange on Workforce Development Program. Tim, this is you.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your time. Tonight we're joined by John Healy and Brad Walters of the Southern Tier Builders Exchange. They are a recipient of our construction trades workforce development grant, and they have developed a pre-apprenticeship trades program. So pretty much it teaches the trainee a variety of trades, including carpentry, masonry, ironworking, and prepares them for the trades and to take on an apprenticeship. They currently have begun classes this year at Jamestown Public Schools, and where they've seen a lot of success. So I'd like to invite John and Brad to speak a little bit about the program.
Thank you, everybody, for letting us come in real quick. We won't be too long, but we have a handout that we pass around for everybody, so just run through that real quick, just to kind of give you an update of where we're at, what our big reason for this construction is. So just starting off, just as most of you are probably aware, there's just a big skills gap right there out there, and the workforce is aging. The average worker is 45, getting older, and we need more young people to enter the trades, or just people looking to make a career transition or looking for more work. So it's the number one issue we hear from all our members is we could grow, we could expand, we just don't have the labor to do it. So that's where the City of Jamestown and partnership came in to spur a workforce development program. So thank you for that opportunity. And then just what we're telling students as we meet them, people that are interested, the opportunities that are out there is there's good pay, there's high demand, unlimited potential. The pride that comes with building a building, driving down the streets, and part of that satisfaction with being able to work with your hands, build a skill, grow with that. And there's no student loan debt when you go to school. So those are the driving forces of getting students into looking at construction. Now, just our main priorities when we were starting this program, where we want to reach high school students at a young age, people with some college, some high school, people that are just college graduates or just want to get into something new, and we want to give them an opportunity to get into the trades, create a pathway for those who might have barriers into an apprenticeship, and just, somebody that wants to work with their hands and doesn't know how. And we want to start young in high school and build a talent pipeline, and not only just learning the trade, but advance and show them that they can also get an education, a different college education, not going the traditional four-year route, and build that pipeline for our local employees so they have a placement workforce, and not just workforce, but also moving up into supervisor and estimating and project management and that kind of thing. So our main objectives, we develop our career awareness and recruitment, invest in our youth, provide training credentials, sustain our workforce, building connections, establishing employment, and providing students a foundational gateway into construction industry. So to start with, we chose the National Center for Construction Education and Research. We got certified by them to provide their curriculum, their accredited curriculum, and so we're Builders Exchanges has that certification now, and now we can partner with other organizations in Jamestown and around Chappaqua County to work under us and our accreditation, so they don't have to go through it. We're the accredited organization, so we can partner with them and they can go through training with us and be a part of the NCCR. So they were founded in 1996. They're a leading not-for-profit construction training program. Pretty good reputation throughout the construction industry across the country. They're in every state, and it seemed like a good in-between, good place to start for the both hands-on curriculum and training. They have the PowerPoints, they have the presentations already developed, so we don't have to spend time recreating the wheel, and we can give that to a teacher that can take it and run with it. So it's a good program. It's flexible. They're modular based. So you do the instruction in the classroom, and then you do the hands-on portion. You have to pass a test online and also an evaluation by the instructor, so they're actually learning. And then once they do that, they get a credential online that's monitored and maintained in their database and system. So if you would do the training in the high school and you end up in Virginia or Florida, you can say, this is my online curriculum, this is what the classes I've taken. So they're transferable skills that you can take anywhere, which we liked. It's portable, it's all online, and a pretty good system that's been in place since '96. And then the next page is just some snapshots of their online program that we all work through. So it's where the training takes place, it's where they track everything. Just want to get some pictures so people can see what that looks like. And then they have 45 or 50 different curriculums, but we chose the entry-level NCCR core, which is a basic introduction to construction that you have to teach at every level. And that has a lot of the basic hands-on math skills, material handling, intro to construction drawing, those kind of entry-level good classes to start with. And then at the high school level, we're teaching the construction craft labor, which gets more into the carpentry, masonry, concrete, welding, ironwork, and that kind of stuff. Heavy equipment, pretty entry-level stuff. Good classes. And then at hopefully the JCC level, we'll be teaching the construction technology, which is a little more in-depth, some more broader topics. So in theory, you could go from the craft labor up to the technology. The next couple pages are just the curriculum in more detail. I know the print's kind of small, but that just gives you the different modules and the description of each one. And they also have basic safety, they have communication skills, basic employability skills, so they're touching on more than just the construction. They're at the core level, trying to teach them some life skills. And then the craft labor, you can see there's 2 levels, 1 and 2, that we'd be teaching at the high school level. And those modules and classwork, and then the construction technology, their curriculum layout there. So that's just the basic background, the curriculum we're teaching, just want to overview that quickly. And then moving into the actual, so far what we've got started, it was Jamestown High School. We started in January with JPS. They are turning the old Rogers School into the Innovation Center. And we got a lot of nice classroom space on the second floor there that we're really happy with. So we're teaching Monday through Friday, 1 to 3. They're busing the students up there. We have 2 instructors, Daryl Dancott and Pauline DeLaura, and they've been doing a real good job with the students. We're hoping our first year to maybe have 5 students. We have 10, which we're real happy about. 2 seniors, 8 juniors. One of the seniors is pursuing electrical apprenticeship with the IBEW. We were happy to hear that he's going into that. So we've been starting off teaching the core classes, and we're also working in field trips. They went to the Buffalo Trade Show and the Southwestern New York Building Construction Trade Show, and they're getting out and visiting some of our members. They're going to go down to JMI, see the concrete plant. They're going to see Lakeshore paving their gravel pit, and we're going to, once the summer or the fall, taking the work sites as well, get them on site and seeing the everyday actual construction in progress. And then as part of that, the next one is just some of the classes we've touched on. We have a quote there from the superintendent, Dr. Whitaker, that I won't read it to you guys word for word. You guys all have it handout, but you know they've been real happy with the program. What they're trying to do with the Innovation Center, growing the workforce development, alternate education at the high school level, teaching skills and other pathways. So it's been a real good start between the Jamestown High School and Innovation Center and the Builders Exchange. We've got all the students, their OSHA 10 construction training, which we were happy to get on. We have their cards. That's a picture of their cards in the top right corner. Paul and Laura doing some training. So they have their OSHA 10 cards, so they can start right. That's a big help that employees don't have to do that kind of training to get them started. And there's just some of the spring semester classes to date that we've been working on so far. There's some of the introductory classes. And then we're also, some of the hands-on projects we're doing, the students demoed a wall at the high school, which they enjoyed. They set up and laid out their new classrooms using AutoCAD, and then they also set it up themselves. So they're working AutoCAD in there. Daryl Damcutt also teaches AutoCAD at the high school, and he's also their aviation drone teacher, so he's pretty busy. He does a real good job. They're working on, they formed some boxes. They're going to pour those and work on some hand forming concrete, and that's all working up towards a 20 by 24 concrete pad right outside the Innovation Center that they've laid out, and they're gonna set up and form and pour themselves, and JMI is gonna supply the concrete. So we're building a space outside to do more hands-on, cutting wood, building outside, getting outdoors more in the environments. Long term, eventually, we'd like to build more of an indoor center outside where we could build sheds and that kind of thing. Another project we got lined up is at the fire department. We're gonna rebuild a wall for them, steel frame, drywall, sanding, painting. Daryl's a volunteer fireman, so he had some connections down there, so he's gonna get him in there to do that. And then the track coach at Jamestown asked our class to build them some new sheds. They said they'd buy the materials, we could just build the sheds, so we said that sounds like a plan. So that's online. No, and long term, eventually where we'd really like to get to, I know there's obstacles in the way, but if we could build small houses between Jamestown High School and JCC, maybe frame them out, start at the high school level, and JCC would do the finishes, and then maybe we could set them up on site around the city of Jamestown somewhere, I'll work with some of our partners to dig the foundations, and we can truck them out there and drop them in there. But a lot of obstacles to get through there. That'd be a long-term goal that we'd love to see happen. Kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, workforce development, and provide some new inexpensive housing that maybe we can just turn over to the city and you guys can figure out what to do with them. But we'd like to see how to get there some way. And then future partnerships, next steps at the high school level, we'd like to continue to grow and expand the students who are involved in the program. And we want to start having more showcases for junior high, freshmen, sophomores, show them construction, get them into construction and show them the pathways that are out there. And then continue to find more local projects that our students can work on and have real life applications for. Jamestown Community College, we've been working with them, Grant Umberger. We have hopefully an August or September start date with them, and they're actually gonna share space at the Innovation Center with Rogers. We'll go, we're looking at Monday through Thursday. JCC would go up there at the night, once all the high school kids are out, we can reuse some of the same materials, the same space. We're not recreating, spending money, finding a place to rent. They didn't have much space at JCC for that kind of environment, so that seems to be working well. We're working through an agreement there to share that space, but it looks positive. And like I said, they'd be there Monday through Thursday, 4 to 8, and the high school kids would be there, of course, 1 to 3, so there's no overlap of anybody. But so at the JCC level, that's where we're getting into more of the adult education, or maybe some with college or somebody that graduated high school, and just kind of trying to figure out what they like or what they want to get into. And that would be about 450 hours in both classroom instruction and hands-on. We're looking probably at 6 months maybe, start in August and run through into the spring. And hopefully that would coincide with our hiring period when construction companies are looking for people to ramp up into the summer. So that's ongoing. We're finalizing the class schedule and times, and we've touched base, GCC as well as Village Exchange, have touched base with several retired owners of businesses or people that have been in construction that are looking to help out, give back some, and be a part of something more now that they're more into retirement. So we have potentially 3 or 4 instructors, and Daryl said he'd be interested, and Paul as well, helping out. So hopefully we have 3 or 4 different instructors, all part teaching different modules and what they're best at. So once we get all that finalized, JCC will be looking to promote the public and hopefully get some help from you guys promoting to the public, getting them into the ideas out there for JCC. So Alfred State College, Brad and I are on the Alfred State College Construction Management Advisory Board, and they're coming out with, so we have a pretty good relationship, pretty good partnership with Alfred State, which is one of probably the top construction management school in the southern tier here. And they're coming out with some micro credentials in the fall, and we're going to talk to them more about partnering with them and seeing what we can offer our students. But they're good classes. They're construction supervision, scheduling, and estimating. You get the micro credentials. There's 2 classes you take for the supervision, 3 for scheduling, 3 for estimating. They're all you get credits for them. You get a micro badge or whatever the kids like these days. So it's a good training, good introduction if you're in the field, you've been in the field, you want to move up into estimating or project management, but you're a little unsure. And Alfred State provides these 100% online, pretty low tuition. We'd like to work with them, and they're open to everybody. We'd like to partner with them and figure out what else we can offer to our students. But we're just showing the high school kids or college kids that there is more pathways for you once you go through these programs, you work in the field for a while, that there's opportunities out there to advance, that there's training that's available to you, and we can help you get there. So, and then another partnership we were approached about, because they like the NCC-ER, was Erie DeBosie's approach is about their Ignite program that the Chautauqua County Sheriff is getting started, and that's to help inmates provide them educational training and skills once they're released from the jail, so they have something they can pursue and go forward with, and they don't end up repeat back in the county jail. So they approached us about being a part of that program and working under us with the NCC-ER credentials, which we said, hey, we'll give it a try. So it sounds good. If we can help somebody turn their life around, they can get involved. So they like that. They have their own instructors that would get certified under the curriculum, core and construction craft labor. They go in and teach them to the inmates, and we'd be there as a resource, come in and talk to them and help them once they're transitioning out to help enter the workforce. So not sure where it'll go, but it's JCC is involved as well, and maybe both is in the sheriff, so it's a pretty good partnership, and see what we can do to help them out there. So that's, then the next couple, that's just a layout of, the next page is just a layout of that partnership. The next couple slides are just, what we're hoping to direct students into either apprenticeship programs with, unions, the bricklayers, the masons, the electricians, or laborers, or continue on to JCC. And either take the construction class as part of their continuing education or a 2-year degree, help them, students went into the workforce directly and with employees, or going on to a 4-year degree, the 4 different pathways we can help students get into. Next is just the career pathways, just showing different opportunities and options out there in the construction industry. There's a lot of options. And then the next couple flyers are just showcasing the program. We publish an annual magazine, the Builders Exchange of Southern Tier, and this is just an ad we're putting in there to our members, building the future between a partnership with the city of Jamestown, Jamestown High School and us. And just trying to build awareness for what we're doing here in the partnership that we have starting out. So that's just an ad we're putting in there that we deliver pretty much across the Southern Tier from here to Binghamton. And then the next 2 flyers are just the Alfred State micro credentials that I was talking about, a little more information on those and career paths that website. Hopefully a brief overview and not too much talking on my end. So. Thanks for letting us come in.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask a couple of things. Is these NCCR courses that these kids are taking in high school are credited in that if they decide to go on to a 2-year school? Most of the 2-year schools in the United States take these credits, so there's a value there to them. The pay level in construction now, not many people realize it, but it's between, generally speaking, $80,000 and $160,000 a year, depending on what you're doing. That includes your benefits and things. But a bulldozer operator nowadays is making $160,000 if he's any good. So there's a lot more money in it than there used to be, and partly because of the labor crunch. Continuation of the grant. This grant runs out in 2026, is it? Our organization, if this is successful, is committed to keeping it going beyond that. We've got a sizable amount of money that we could throw at the program, and we think that we could probably get enough ongoing grants to keep it continuing if and when, at the end of the first 3 years, we decide that it was successful enough. We're hoping we'll get 12 people next year, 18 the year after that, but I believe that probably we'll end up continuing it beyond the life of the grant at this point.
Yeah, hoping there's enough grant money out there for workforce development that we fit in there somewhere, which I think we should.
Thank you so much. Any questions for me or John?
And when you're talking about revenue generation to keep the program going, is JCC looking at having this accredited through their channels in New York State so it'd be state aidable for them?
Yeah, well, through the workforce development portion, they would be doing that, so that'd be aidable on their end. And they're looking at different grants and they're following through on all that. So yeah.
And I guess I have the same question for BOCES.
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing that so the
Yeah,
program could be BOCES capable?
Yeah, yep, they're covering all their costs on the BOCES end. They just wanted to basically fall under the NCCR accreditation that we have. They wanted access to our employees and a connection with us and our employees. So, but yeah, on their end, they should be able to get it funded in grants.
Great.
And as soon as we publish that magazine, which is gonna be a week or 2,
Yeah.
we're gonna release that same article we put in the magazine, the Post Journal. So that'd be some free advertising there.
I know Daryl does a great job with it.
Yeah, he does. He does a really good
The
job.
kids are really,
They like him.
they like him and they like the program.
I don't know how he's got time to do all he does.
Yeah, he's been a real good partner, real excited. So seems so far so good.
He mentioned the small house.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to get into that.
He asked about the house on Foot Avenue, the one
Yeah.
that was torn down across from the high school at that property. I don't know. I had directed him toward Crystal to talk about what, I don't know what the plan is for that spot, but he said that would be an awesome
The
spot.
thought is that we could either donate there to like a veterans organization, or perhaps sell them to put more money into the program.
We'll build the sheds first.
Work their way up.
Any other questions? Awesome.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Support. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thanks, sir.
Next, Stephanie, this is your item, consideration for extending the term of Wicked Jimmy's loan.
Right, so, I was unable to attend the last meeting, but I do understand that it was discussed to, extend the JLDC loan term from, 10 years to 20 years. I believe on a case-by-case basis. This is for, Wicked Jimmy's, who will be opening our brewery here on the corner. Wicked Jimmy's was hoping to have our loan mirror that of the CCIDA, which is 20 years at 4% interest. I understand it came back from the board here that we could, do a 20-year at a 5% interest. So Rob Roth of Wicked Jimmy's was agreeable to that. So that is, that's what we're here to vote on right now. If you guys have any questions.
Would that have to be revoted on at council?
No, the same
I don't think
amount,
so.
I don't think so, cause it's the same amount of the loan, it's just the length of the term.
I just wanna make sure.
But we can check with Elliot to be sure.
So was it decided that it was just gonna be a flat 5% then for 20 years? Because originally, like when I brought that up last week, it was the longer you go out, it keeps increasing up, not just 1%. I mean, 5% on over a 20-year loan is like almost nothing as far as monetary wise. And community bank, because I checked with community bank and a couple other banks, and the minimum that they will touch a 20-year commercial loan for is 13.5% right now. So if you go anywhere else, I mean, 5% is like, that's dirt cheap
Right.
with the current interest rates and stuff like that right now. So like my thought is at 4% at 10, 5% at 15, 6% at 20 as a minimum, because you go anywhere else in the entire United States right now and your loans are ridiculous, and they want to the point of the fire guys 25% down. So it's commercial loans are very, very few and hard to get right now on anything like that. So I think by doing a favor to somebody like that, because that is very low interest rate right now, especially with the current situation. I think that's not, in my opinion, is not unforeseen to ask for 6 points on a 20-year loan.
I think we're looking at this and trying to keep right in line with the CCIDA, and we don't compete with the banks. We do ask for the bank to have at least 40% on our loans, but we take riskier loans, and our goal here, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, but the goal of JLDC is not to make a profit from these businesses. The goal is to bring businesses into town and support them as they're moving through their loan process. So we've never had a climbing loan like that. It's always just been the flat rate as it is. So that would be something completely new to the loan structure. CCIDA is loaning $950,000 at a 4% interest. So there's probably, I don't know what the board here, what their appetite is for a climbing loan or just keeping it at a flat rate at a 5%. We did agree to a 4%, but we came back, okay, 20 years, push it out, and it'll be 5.
We don't currently have any like that.
No, this would be our first 20-year loan.
Or any climbing ones.
No, never did, have done that.
The only thing that's usually climbing is pilot agreements.
What is the reason they want to extend that from 10 to 20?
They believed that we were going to do a loan just like CCIDA's, and they just wanted that same term.
Oh, okay.
I have not spoken with Rob Roth personally. Crystal has been dealing with him, so I'm just sharing what the conversation has been.
How does it change their payment structure?
I don't have it with me right now. It would have to be at least half. So I think their payment structure to us on a $350 for 10 years, I think that was close to $800. Was it 800?
I can't remember.
8 to 1100. I'm sorry, I don't have that information here. I can easily get it. If you'd like me to find that.
And they did get their bank financing, too.
They did get their bank financing. I have not had that shared with me, which bank it was, but they do have their bank financing.
I'm just trying to see if it's on.
I think Kim probably went to get the loan report from Rob Roth. So yeah, so their monthly loan payment would be cut in half.
Longer term, higher interest rate.
Yeah.
When are they expected to open again?
They wanted June 1st, but that's not. They do have early entry right now. And, CCIDA just finished up their public engagement and public hearing last month. We still have to close on ours, and then WRC, or Western Region Council, they still have to close theirs. So nothing has been closed yet. So there is no way that they're gonna be in there June 1st. So,
George Feppy didn't want to transfer the business until after like July 1st, I think.
I think he allowed them early entry,
Early.
and they could start
Right.
with the brewing right away. So they are in there, though they don't have any loans closed on it yet.
There's no back. Doesn't have it here.
What's that?
It's not in the, it's just the agenda and I was looking up from last month.
Monthly was $3,543.58.
Was that on a 10-year?
Yes.
That's 10 years, so it would
At
be
4.
16,
1,700.
17, yeah. And the big part is we want them to succeed.
Yeah.
You know,
Their CCIDA payment for 20 years is $5,756. And their additional bank payment is $4,900, and their WRC payment is $3,900. So their total in monthly payments is $18,187. So it would lessen
A lot of beer and pizza.
$1,500, $1,600. Roughly. Okay.
so 18,000 a month, that is their debt service, and that was on their loan report, as it was sent out a couple months ago. So, 18,000 minus 1,700, is that gonna be, that's up to the board, is that helpful enough, to stretch out 20 years?
If that's the choice they do, they can always play ahead.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
There's no penalty for that. As far as suggestions, if we do it for one, we're gonna be asked to do it for others, so this is gonna set the precedent.
Yeah, but this is the biggest loan we've also had. We don't normally do $350,000 loans.
I think the last one we had may have been IoT.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the
We had
difference
Dave
is,
Warren.
the difference is you're doing a $350,000 loan versus a normal $150
Mhm.
at 10 years. So the loan is twice as much as normal. Bigger loan, much bigger loan.
You need a motion to vote on.
If that's what
I think
everybody
that's
wants
what-
to do, that's what we're looking for, if that's what is okay with everyone. Again, that falls in line with their loan, their major loan of $950,000.
move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
Yeah, you probably don't have to vote on it. But
We'll
just check
verify
just to
that,
make sure. I mean, it doesn't change the amount, but,
Yeah, we can do it next week.
but it does change the amount of years.
right. Cause it was in the resolution when we voted on it, was it
It is.
10-year loan at 4%, now we're changing the percentage in, but just make sure, it doesn't really weigh it.
If that's the case, you need to get it in this week,
Yep.
tomorrow.
Okay,
For pre-file.
She would pull the old one and introduce a new one, just change the years. I'm asking Elliot to be sure. Is there a need for an executive session that you're aware of?
no, I do not have any.
I do not have any, so next is the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. I'll have a good night. Thank you for coming. I will let you all know as soon as I hear back from Elliot on those two issues. I'm making sure.
And that was for the fire guys and,
Well, the fire guys, I just told him he needs to do that,
okay,
and that doesn't need to go to council, cause it's not over 100, right?
right. What was the other thing for Elliot then?
The vote on the extension.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
Whether or not the council needs to re-vote on it. I mean, it doesn't change the amount, but it changes the terms.
Yeah.
There's also, no, exactly. There's also
Better things.
hang on too, because
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Brad
that should be on that. I don't know if we'll mention
There you go.
I saw that.
the food,
I saw that.
why SNAP education.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
all around us.
So yeah.
Remember, you're just getting
Maybe
coming
like-
here, probably run through all the,
What street do you live on?
I'm surprised that it's raining.
Durant, okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
One of you, either Tony or you, are going to get a city vehicle parked outside on the street right around lunchtime. It's me and Jan walking around, looking at these gorgeous, beautiful homes
just hit the
in
X?
Jamestown. Pardon me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I haven't hit Durant Street yet. We just did down Hotchkiss to the farm.